How sweep it is, ladies and gentlemen. Ooh, baby, that's a triple against the second place Texas Rangers. Your Seattle Mariners just completed the 3-game sweep this weekend of your biggest division rival, potentially your biggest problem for the AL West crown. With this sweep, your Seattle Mariners are now 8.5 games up on the Texas Rangers for first place in the AL West. They're currently 43-31. They are now 5-1 in the head-to-head against the Rangers with only 7 games to go. Can't really understate how huge this sweep is. I was going into this series hoping to just get 2 of 3 because then you gain a little bit of ground on them, but a sweep is absolutely massive. So we're going to go over all the games right now, starting with game 1 on Friday. City Connects on Apple TV. The vibes are already high. You have Luis Castillo going against Andrew Heaney. Early on in the game, Luis Castillo looked like he may not have the best start. He gave up a double to Nathaniel Lowe, which scored Marcus Semien, which was followed by a Wyatt Langford single that scored Nathaniel Lowe. So very quickly, you already have a 2-0 deficit on the series, which immediately I'm like, this can't get any worse. Let's hope Castillo can keep it close. Immediately, the offense respawns with a Julio Rodriguez walk and a Mitch Garver 2-run jack off Andrew Heaney to tie it up really quickly. Mitch Garver's been absolutely electric recently. It's been awesome to see him finally get it going and be that offensive piece that we know he could be when you acquired him. Luis Castillo thankfully would settle down, ends up going 6 innings pitched, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk and 7 Ks, and a really solid outing for game 1 against the Texas Rangers. And in the third, Julio Rodriguez hits into a force out, which scores JP from third. That ends up giving us the lead, which we would not relinquish. No more scoring would happen. The game would end 3-2. Mike Baumann, Andres Munoz, Ryan Stanek all kept the Rangers at bay to hold that 1-run lead for the game 1 win. So going into game 2, this was the prime time television, baby. We're on Fox, and you have the best pitching matchup, one of the best in the season probably, with George Kirby versus Nathan Eovaldi. I was so stoked to watch this matchup. I knew it was going to be absolutely electric, but however, the offense had a different plan for Nathan Eovaldi. Got on the board really quickly in the first due to a Cal Raleigh single that scores Josh Rojas, but they weren't able to get any more. But in the third, Josh Rojas would get on base again with a walk. Julio hit an absolute nuke to left center, 412 feet, 106.4 miles an hour off the bat. Absolutely killed that ball. It had a family, my gosh. In that inning, Nathan Eovaldi would allow a couple more walks, and a clutch single from Dominic Canzone would score, big dumper from second base, and that spell would end Eovaldi's outing. He only went 3 innings pitched. I was really worried he's going to be super tough coming into it. He's been a really good pitcher for a long time now, but he only goes 3 innings, gives up 4 runs on 4 hits and 4 walks, which was really the big problem with that outing there. And while this is all going on, George Kirby has an absolutely monster outing, goes 6 innings pitched, only gives up 3 hits, 1 run, which is unearned, 2 walks, and 6 strikeouts. So he absolutely deals against the Texas Rangers. In the 7th, Josh Rojas continues his phenomenal day, gives what would be kind of the dagger there, a leadoff solo blast just over the wall in the J-Rod squad. And in the 8th, Josh Rojas was not done. He hit a single to score Seattle's 7th run of the game. At that point, I believe it's only like 7-1. Rojas goes 2 for 3 in game 2, scores 3 times himself, gets 2 walks and 1 solo home run. Felt like all was fine. You bring in Edward Bizardo with the 6-run lead in the 9th. He promptly gives up 4 runs on 4 hits, brings the game within 2. Ryan Stanek would come in, would thankfully be able to get the last couple outs, gets Corey Seager to ground out to Tyler Locklear in an amazing play. Basically saves the game, Tyler Locklear does. I've been really impressed with him, both defensively and just in general, since he's been called up. So the M's take Game 2, 5-7. Going into Game 3 now, we've already secured the series win. Can we get the series sweep with Logan Gilbert on the mound versus Dane Dunning? You know you have the pitching matchup at that point. However, day games have been kind of our kryptonite all season. In the first inning, it felt like we were going to get to Dane Dunning. He threw like 33 pitches in the first, one of those being a 14-pitch at-bat from Josh Rojas. I am a roll homie for life. You know it. Dunning would settle down a little bit, albeit with a high pitch count. He would rack up 8 strikeouts against the Mariners, which is a bit unacceptable, I'm not going to lie. But in the fourth, we'd finally be able to do damage against him with back-to-back doubles from Mitch Haniger and Luke Raley. Raley's would score Haniger from second to give us the early lead in the fourth. In the fifth, Rojas, I've said his name so many times during this video. He's been huge in this series. Gets a 2-out double, and then would score on a wild pitch that was really crazy, hits the backstop, and then goes down the first baseline. So he scores from second on a wild pitch. He even hesitates going around third, but slides in just safe. Absolutely electric to get that second run on the board. In the seventh inning, Tyler Locklear would belt his second home run of the year, just above Edgar's Cantina, 390 feet. A nice little insurance run there. And while all this is occurring, once again, a Mariner starter is going absolutely off on the Texas Rangers. This time, Logan Gilbert, his best outing of, I would say, the season. He goes 8 innings pitched, only gives up 2 hits, no runs, no walks, and 9 strikeouts in 101 pitches. Was really hoping to get that 10th K so I could write it down on my little double-digit Mariner starter K list that I have going on. So far, has only been 2 this year, so he could have been the third, but that is okay because I will take this start every single time. If you told me he was going to give this start against the Texas Rangers, I'd say, where is the dotted line? In the 8th, a Haniger hit by pitch and a Raley walk gets runners on first and second with 2 outs. And for the second day in a row, Dominic Canzone comes through with a clutch single to score Haniger. Well, actually it was Ryan Bliss from second. And then another wild pitch while Luke Raley is on third, scores the M's 5th run. Austin Voth comes in. He seals the deal. That secures the series sweep on the Texas Rangers, which once again puts you in first place in the division by 8.5 games. And you have the head-to-head on both the Houston Astros and the Texas Rangers right now. And I will say the front office's decision to pitch Jonathan Diaz and Emerson Hancock in spot starts against the White Sox, probably going to go down as one of the best decisions of the year, because you now have Luis Castillo, Logan Gilbert, and George Kirby to start against Texas Rangers, and they went crazy. Ends up combined 20 innings pitched against all 3 of them, only gave up 9 hits, 2 earned runs, 3 runs in total, 2 walks, and 22 strikeouts. Absurd. Amazing decision by the front office. You have to give them that. But overall, just wanted to get this out there because this is ginormous. This series sweep means a lot for the season going forward. You are about to go into a 3-game set away in Cleveland against the Guardians, who are 44-25, which is going to be a really difficult series. I don't want to go over that. You have the off day tomorrow. It's Father's Day today. Let's enjoy this series sweep. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. It helps me out a lot. Like the video and comment down below, how do you think we're going to do in the Cleveland series? That's going to be it for me in this one, and I will see you in the next.